got ourselves a good little Springsteen. Obviously, you know, every Wednesday it feels like has been the biggest lunch rush. Usually we come after, I'm done at 12:05. Mitch, you're done around 12:30, so you kind of stop by. And we kind of hit a rush, but good amount of people in there. And, you know, we got our sandwich. Safe to say, from our experience in the countless in all caps, Springsteens that we've had in our entire life.
I mean, just in this semester alone.
It just did not deliver. It was, and I would never ever sit up here and bash the greatest establishment on this campus.
Never.
But just definitely an off day, and everybody has their off days. But you know, that Red's hot sauce that I put that on everything is what they say. They didn't put it on mine. That's for sure.
Yeah, not enough sauce.
Wags, I hate to say it. You know, they say they put it on everything. Wasn't putting on mine.
They let you down, man.
Absolutely. And you know, the ranch didn't get too much ranch either. Just a little dry. Did I eat the entire thing? Cheese wasn't melted? Absolutely, I ate the entire thing.
Oh yeah, you have to. You have to
because it's still that
good.
The
worst Springsteen is better than probably still most of the sandwiches at Arch Street.
Absolutely. And I stand by that.
I stand by that too. It wasn't amazing, but it was still good.
It's still good. But how far and how long we've been in the game? You know what I mean? How long we've been just the talk of the town. The Springsteen has been the talk of the town with us. We have expectations. We have this level where we come in and we expect. And you know, it was just an off day.
We always review them too.
Right.
We always do give our Springsteens reviews, see how they're doing on this day. We do it by teams.
So, you know, a lot of the times when we review food or music or movies, we like to do numbers like 1 through 10. But when it comes to Springsteens and just Arch Street Cafe in general, we like to do our teams. We like to
grade it.
We like to grade what team we got today. All right, we got the A team today. And when it's the A team, you know it's the A team. And, you know,
they got that A-team energy.
Absolutely. You come in and you feel it. You have that feeling. And shout out to Miss Shelby. Shout out to Shelby.
Usually a backwards hat or two being rocked. And that's how you know. That's how you know that this Springsteen might change your life.
Right. And it's always going to deliver. But there definitely are, you know, teams. And we like to rate them by what team we got. And yesterday was it was a tough one.
Not necessarily A-team.
Yeah, I would say it was the overseas. I mean, I think it was like FC Barcelona basketball team overseas, right? Yeah. You know, a lot of good players who play in Spain, but they just can't, you know, hang around with the top dogs here in the U.S. And it was a really weird reference, but
weird analogy.
Yeah, but that's just how I picture it. It's just like playing overseas. Like you're still really good. You're still making a lot of money, right?
It's just that, and it isn't that Kevin Durant money.
No,
it ain't that LeBron James money.
Speaking of Kevin Durant and LeBron James, we have a ton of talk about sports, which once we get our special guest here, our stoner, we'll definitely get into all that stuff. But yeah, Springsteen, there you go. That was our Arch Street little rant. Yeah. So pretty stuff.
You know what happens, and you know, Arch Streets it's got a lot of opportunities to redeem itself. So you know, I mean, even just today, we all got our Springsteen on. I haven't eaten mine. I'm gonna be honest though. I haven't touched
mine either.
I'll be honest though, it's not looking A-team, but you know, trust the process.
Right.
So I'm hoping for good things.
Yeah, and you know, they got salt and vinegar chips today for the first time this week, which is a plus. Oh, that's a plus. So maybe you could stop by a snack. So one way or another today. But yeah, that's just our weekly update on our Springsteen and our Street Cafe. Again, make sure to stop by down here and check it out.
They like pretty much sponsor us now.
Yeah,
we gotta set that up.
I think we gotta talk. And I know a few people. You know, we know Miss Shelby, obviously. I believe the president of our street took my order yesterday. I was talking to her a little bit. So, you know, maybe we could give a little business pitch, a little Shark Tank action.
I think we
need a collab.
I think we need to.
I think it would be sweet. So yeah, that's our update on our street. A lot of things that have happened since we've had our last show. Obviously, you know, our last one was a great one with Isaiah as our first stone. But this past Sunday, we got to see the Grammys.
Oh yeah,
the annual Grammys, which kind of snuck up on us. I mean,
it always does, man.
Right? I mean, you talk about. Once they dropped those nominations months ago, it's like, oh, look, this is nominated for this, and you know, and I kind of just forgot, and it's like, oh, especially, you know, we talked about the Oscars, I believe, the Oscar nominations last week.
Yeah, we did,
because those just came out, and then, you know, bounce right back. Here comes the Grammys, and it was an interesting night to say the least.
Very much so.
Yeah. Wags, were you able to see some headlines on it or see any things that caught your eye?
Yeah, I'm big on Twitter, so I was scrolling and I saw some funny stuff. DJ Khaled was on for Best Album of the Year, right?
He was.
Rap album.
For Best Rap Album.
A rap album. And there was a picture of, like, Pusha T, and he's like, I got snubbed. And and it's, like, Kendrick on stage. And then there's a picture of DJ Khaled with his jaw to the floor. And it's just like, how did this guy actually think he was going to get it?
Yeah, like it's laughable, the fact that he even got a nomination.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your average DJ Khaled moment, though.
Right. I mean, ever since, he got absolutely debunked by Tyler, the Creator, in their last Grammy, kind of run. I mean, when Tyler won with Call Me If You Get Lost.
What DJ Khaled album was he going against?
It was, oh my god! It was the one with the beach in the back. It was the one like where he did all those collabs, like the Lil Baby and Lil Durk song.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I can actually pull that up right now. But they had huge
was that the
beef.
One? Is that the one that also was like?
God did. That was the one this year. That was the one this year. God did.
What was it called?
God did. God did. The last one was Khaled. And so
how is he a Grammy
he came in there saying
artist?
That Tyler the Creator was not a rap artist. He's just not rap, whatever.
Don't get me wrong, though. Like, he's kind of got a point. I don't think that Tyler should have won Rap Album of the Year that year with Igor. I think he should have won just Album of the Year.
Well, this was last year with Call Me If You Get Lost.
Okay, never mind.
With Call Me If You Get Lost, he came in there saying that. I agree. I mean, Igor was definitely, an experimental album, and he definitely deserves something for that because it's unbelievable. Monumental album for the past decade, but he came in there talking a bunch of trash, saying he was going to win Rap Album of the Year, didn't, and even this year, God did, DJ Khaled did it, and
who's going to win this Grammy?
Yeah, like you said, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar winning Rap Album of the Year. We expected it.
He deserved it. 100%.
We hoped for it. Pusha T's album was fantastic. I think there's a few other years that he could have won. If Kendrick did drop.
What about Jack Harlow's Come Home? The kids miss you.
Speak for yourself, pal.
No, I'm just joking. I don't know how that album was nominated either.
We did get to see Jack Harlow, Mitch, this past summer.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
In Louisville. That was pretty interesting.
And Drake, right?
He didn't. Drake was there. Mitch, tell us a little bit of story about that.
I'm 2 for 2 on seeing Jack Harlow when I go to Louisville. So, like, in the beginning of the summer last year, we went to the Derby, and that was right when Jack Harlow had dropped his album, and with that song with Drake. So, it was, like, Jack Harlow, Drewski, Drake, like, DJ Drama, like, all these randos.
Yeah.
And just, like, casually 20 feet away from us, standing in front of all these people at the Derby. Yeah. And we were going nuts. If you know our good friend Tia, she was on my shoulders, saying some crazy things to Jack Harlow, as one does. Obviously, they probably didn't even see us, but it was really cool to see them there. And then me and Joe, we actually saw Jack Harlow perform.
Yeah,
and that was actually pretty sick.
It was pretty cool.
I
I don't listen to him very much.
Same.
I'm not the biggest fan. I do think I'm kind of like, he's pretty funny. He's a funny guy, and I respect what he does.
He's going to be in the new White Man Can't Jump.
That's what I was going to say. He was kind of made for Hollywood.
Right.
He's like kind of what Hollywood's been looking for a tacky white guy.
Yeah, I totally, absolutely. And I totally have respect.
Macklemore space.
Yeah.
I totally have respect for him, and I think, he deserves a lot of the credit he gets. Maybe if, I don't think his music is that top tier and is Grammy-esque. But again,
it's decent. He's got his crowd out there.
And I think it was really cool seeing him perform in Louisville, just because he showed a lot of love to his hometown.
Oh, yeah. And like in the beginning of the concert, he's like, "I used to sneak in here, and now look at me, I'm on top of this stage."
Crazy stuff. Yeah,
it was actually really sick.
Yeah, he's a good performer too.
And the people of Louisville were going wild for that when he was performing. You guys were closer to the back, but I was up there in the front with like our friend Carmen. And that was a pretty fun experience, especially for like Jack Harlow's more popular songs and like what was popping and stuff like that. The crowd was going nuts. I was
actually able to see Jack Harlow for a quick snippet in 2021. Yeah, so it was the summer of 2021 at Lollapalooza. He performed, and that was right when like What's Poppin' was like popping. I mean, talking about like
when he was making about 18 remixes
the
to
best,
it.
Yeah. And I like walked by his concert. It was super cool. I mean, again, great crowd, great environment. I walked by because I had to get up close for Tyler the Creator. Sorry, Jack Harlow. So I was there for maybe 5 minutes and then kind of left. But again, he's a great performer. It was good to see him.
He's definitely a good performer.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he sold out his tour for his album, which is good for him.
Yeah, and I kind of like I gotta have a lot of respect for the guy. He's been doing a lot of work lately, and it's been very successful. So yeah, shout out to Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar, obviously,
definitely
winning best.
I mean, that had
album.
to have been my favorite album of the summer for sure. Joe, do you remember when Earl Sweatshirt's DJ played "Count Me Out"?
Yes,
that is still like one of my favorite performance memories.
Why.
It sticks with me so well.
I agree. Yeah,
out of all the things, like I would say. Even though we just came off watching Earl Sweatshirt for 45 minutes, that might be one of the most memorable parts of Earl Sweatshirt's set list.
Yeah.
And that was sick because his DJ produced the song and stuff like that.
Yep.
And that album was it was something else.
Very good.
I mean, and I really like how he kind of like got personal with it. I feel
he
like
got super personal. I mean, and even coming into off his last few albums,
he's not afraid to get personal or talk about what he wants to talk about.
And this one
real shit.
Yeah, exactly. And just like thinking about it, he, when you talk about his career and his discography in general, he's, has so many themes and so many messages and meanings behind his work. To Pimp a Butterfly is just a monumental album talking just about racial issues in the history of America. And coming into this one post-COVID, he kind of teased us
5
and was
years,
like,
right,
and he's like, I'm gonna drop an album. We don't know what he's gonna bring, and where he's gonna go with it. And he got super personal, just talking about his trauma and a bunch of different aspects of life. And it is definitely not one that is like, replay value, like he's just like going in. It's not like Good Kid, Mad City, right, where you expect like him to just
spit.
Yeah, exactly,
like
right,
spit.
and like but it is just such a beautiful artistic angle that he took. It was very special.
Seeing him live with that album was honestly one of the coolest experiences of my life.
So cool.
Just like with all the personal meanings behind all the songs, and Kendrick's a guy to like pay attention to detail,
right?
And like he's out there singing certain songs, and he's got like all these cool visuals that like tie into the song and the personal stories. Like I think for "Count Me Out," like there was like this like shadow of him like with arrows going into his back, and it's just like it was truly one of the coolest things.
He is a genius.
He really
say the
is.
Least. And people, and we need to not take for granted like the years that he has, right? I mean, he really is one of the best to do it.
He's top 5 easy.
Absolutely.
Easy.
And he is just it's so cool seeing him go up there and win that Grammy. He's just such a cool guy.
I think it's now his 3rd rap album in a row taking rap album of the year, so good for him. That's pretty crazy because I remember there being a huge scandal with what was his album and winning a Grammy.
Butterfly.
Didn't he lose to like
T-Pab lost to Macklemore?
Yeah, and that wasn't. So I always thought that was rap album of the year, but that was just album of the year. That was album of the year,
yeah.
And
he was up for album of the year this year, and he did not win it, which was expected.
I just don't think Hollywood ever wants to see a rap album take it.
Right.
I mean, as I don't know if you guys knew this, but the last like hip hop rap album to take it was the Love Box, right, by Andre 3000 and Outkast.
That a long time, yeah.
Yeah, that. Jeez. But this great album. And like I actually just saw a video about that, and Andre 3000 goes up there on the Grammy stage to accept the award, and he takes the award and he says thank you, and then just leaves.
Yeah,
it's iconic, and it's like for like one of the biggest awards, if not the biggest award in music.
Yeah,
it's so
special.
Cool.
Yeah,
who won best album this year?
So that's a great question. I think I was just gonna bring that up.
As it was
Harry Styles winning album of the year. Interesting. I also think the song of the year was probably the biggest surprise. Even, in my opinion. No, it was, and I'm going to have to do my research. And, credit to, it's just, I hate to say it, but before hearing the song of the year, I've never heard the song. Once they released it, they're like, the song of the year is blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I've never heard of this artist, and I don't know who
what was it
song
again?
This year's. I'm going to have to look it up. But as far as album of the year, Harry Styles winning was a little bit of surprise. I mean,
absolutely.
He's been very popular in the game. Obviously, he had a big year with his tour and his run. But Just Like That by Bonnie Wright.
Oh, yeah, that was
won
weird.
Song of the Year.
I still haven't listened to it.
I still have, I never
check if it's on the...
Yeah, I bet you it's not, but we're going to take a look. I wonder if somebody added it.
It is Song of the